All right, welcome to You Don't Know Ball. Today we're going to be doing our mock draft 4.0. Last time's Dobbs took odds. I took evens. We're going to switch that up. This is a full first round mock draft. We'll get right into it here. So I'm in the Bears, and I don't think I'm going to go any different. I know this pick is probably going to be pretty annoying for the next couple months, but Caleb Williams to the Bears just kind of seems like what the reality is going to be. I don't see them going really any other way. I think any type of smoke with Drake May or Jaden Daniels or trading down is nothing but smoke because it's like you don't pass up on this type of player.
Yeah, no, bro. It's not gonna. I'll tell you, like I said, and I'm serious. I'm rigid. And when I'm taking odds, it's not gonna change. Caleb Williams will always be the number one. It is what it is. And again, the more you watch, it's literally like the more you watch, the more you will understand. If you turn on only a few games or only the highlights, and then you go to the bad stuff, you're gonna be like saying the same thing as all these other people that are worried. Watch every snap. Watch consistently how much this man can do. That's just ridiculous off platform in structure. It's just insane. Caleb Williams is the lock for number one, bro.
At number two with the Washington Commanders, where are you going, Dobbs?
Still's always tough because, like I say, it's like, I'm starting to really think about the trade down, but also it's like it's interesting. I don't know. It really
Okay,
is.
so let me ask you this because I've been, there's been like more smoke about a trade down because like I saw a point pointed out, but I saw something where it was like Adam Peters was part of that group in San Francisco that traded up for Trey Lance. And it's like, I don't know if he's going to make that. So I think trading out, honestly, is completely out of the question, but trading down, I've seen more about that. But do you think they're more set on a quarterback or they're just trying to raise the trade value of number two?
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing is it would probably be more than trying to like raise the value. And so that's why I'm looking and I'm like, who would I want to get this trade off with, right? But that's kind of where the issue comes in
I,
because I don't know who would be willing to make like I mean to move up to number two is going to take a lot.
so
You know what I
here's
mean? And
here's my thing is like I could see the Giants as a potential guy because you're only moving down a couple spots. But my thing is that Giants team ain't that close. And it's like it would take a haul to get up to two. And so it's
that,
like, and then
bro,
you have the Vikings and the Broncos, but that's moving all the way back 10, 11, or 10, 11 spots.
well, that's the problem with that. And no, bro, it's like you're saying. First thing I'm thinking when I'm looking at candidates is the Giants, but then it's back to like that's the whole problem already facing is like it's like Daniel Jones isn't the guy. But I'm just being honest. I don't think bringing in Drake May, Jaden Daniels is necessarily fixing any of the issues we already have with the team, right? Like so, especially with the offense as a whole, I don't know. It's a tough situation. With all that said, you know what? With all that said and all and everything, we're gonna say to ourselves, you know, it, it's interesting, really is. Like there's so many ways I could go with this, but you know what? What if I just like switch up the whole board here? What if I do something a little bit
Oh
crazy?
no.
Because no, it's like you know what, bro? If you don't know what to do and you're not going to trade it down, you know what I'm doing with this pick myself.
Okay.
This hear me out. I'm saying, what if we just like for sure though lock up our guy for sure that we know is certain. If we're not sure on the QB, we're not sure we want to go with anywhere else. What if we're just the ones right here as the Commanders to take Marvin off the board?
That's
I'm doing it.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, but you know what? We're having fun, bro. And more than anything, I'm being serious when I say I don't. It's definitely not bad value at all in terms of yes. Obviously, if this was a real mock, I think we're gonna find someone trade down whatever. But you know what? I'm not worried about figuring out the compensation right now. I'm here to say if I'm the Commanders, I'm just taking the best guy I know that's certain off the board right now, and somebody I know that I can put next to whoever, whether it's Terry sticking around, whatever. I know that we're gonna have a receiving core that's stacked out for the next 4 to 5 years at least.
I can already read the comments. I can already read the comments. But no, I mean, I get it, bro. Like my thing is like, yes, you get more value in a trade down for sure. But it's like I think you build like your franchise around these like, there's like these blue chip players. Like Marvin Harrison is like a to me like a purple chip guy. Like he is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like a Justin Jefferson. Like he is that type of player if he winds up like reaching his potential.
It's more
So
just about staying healthy. That's the thing is he's
yeah.
coming in. He's the most pro ready receiver I've seen. And again, you're right with the trade down thing. But whenever you trade down, you never know in terms of are you getting like you saying you're getting guys that you're very confident in, but you're not getting guys you're certain in. But with a guy like Marv, you're getting someone you are certain in as long as they can stay healthy.
So this leaves the Patriots in an interesting spot because I think if they get to three and Drake May and Caleb Williams are off the board, I think they are almost 100% probably going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. or trade down. I don't think Jaden Daniels is really the right fit for the Patriots at this time. But with that being said, since you went a little crazy with Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Commanders, I am going to make a trade.
Crazy. Okay, so you're doing what I just didn't have the balls to do with the Commanders right now.
So I'm going to make a trade with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm gonna have the
Okay.
Minnesota Vikings moving up. So, all right, let's work on this trade compensation. So, I'm thinking, obviously, they do a pick swap this year. They probably get number 42 this year, maybe like a round one, like their first round pick next year, and then maybe like what, like a fifth next year or something like that. Or
So give
what
me
are
this.
you
Give me
thinking?
the total compensation
So,
one more
yeah,
time. It
so
was
the
42
Patriots
is
Patriots would get pick 11, pick
okay.
42, and round one next year, plus like another late round pick.
Okay. I mean, this to me sounds like the Patriots are hitting a little bit of a lick. Like there's no way that they don't allow us to make this trade, right?
Well, so do you think it says this trade has a 77% chance of being accepted?
I think that that's great value. I mean, again, especially like we're saying with now the value on the board, if the Patriots aren't going either like the neighbors or Joe Alt route, because it's like I don't think you're going QB. It's like yeah, I mean, personally, I think this sounds like absolutely fantastic value for the Patriots.
All right, so I did a like I said, pick swap 42, round one next year, and round four next year. I think that's fair. Um,
Real quick, why is it not letting me force this trade, bro? I'm a little bit confused here. What's going on?
so I just offered the trade and it let me do
It's
it.
for me, the offer trade thing has a lock over it. Have you ever had that?
Oh, bro, I don't know if you're signed into the You Don't Know Ball account. Maybe that's it.
No, that okay. You know what? Well, let's just my mock draft is not going to look like yours, like the exact same, but it's okay
It's okay.
because
I got it recorded on my side. We'll just
yeah,
just
yes,
know
exactly. So
just
who
know
are the Vikings going to be drafting though?
the
And I'll just
Vikings are going
vice
to be
versa it.
taking Drake May.
Okay. So
Yeah,
all right.
so that I think I've seen the Broncos trade up a couple times. I think the Vikings are a much more likely like trade candidate to move up. I think the Broncos are desperate, but at the same time like I think like Justin Jefferson's like kind of demands about knowing the quarterback plan is like very real. Like I have a very real like he strikes me as a player who like yes, he wants to get paid top dollar, but also someone who wants to win a lot. And I don't think he wants to be in a situation where they don't have the guy. And you heard about the Vikings like wanting to trade up for Anthony Richardson last year and offering quite a bit. I don't know how true those rumors are. I know that they were definitely interested, but I don't know how much they wanted to move. But Drake May to me makes a lot of sense in like a Kevin O'Connell offense, unless they want to rock with JJ McCarthy. But I think that's more of a Broncos pick.
No, and especially if you trade it up to third overall, because one of the big knocks on Drake May has been right. It's kind of like he didn't have all the talent around him. He had to make a lot of things work himself. Okay, and then you bring him over to the Vikings where you're putting him into a good O line system, and also on top of that, obviously we know with the best receiver in the league. I think yeah, I mean that sounds like the dream landing spot for Drake May.
Right. All right, number four, we have the Arizona Cardinals.
All right, and you know what? You gave me a lot of options here for sure. You really did.
Hmm
Um,
This,
but
I
I
mean,
think
this leaves like options open for another trade for a quarterback because I mean, like once you get out of the top three, I think it's a fair game. But
no.
also, I could see them, going wide receiver here as well.
No, absolutely. And I think what I'm thinking is serious. This is what I'm saying if I'm the Cardinals. For me, this is one where I look at the board, and this is one where it comes to me rather quick. Where I'm saying, look, Malik Neighbors has been somehow underrated through this process. I know he's getting a lot of love, and I know that it's been more and more, and people like everyone's saying, more and more. He is closer to Marv than you think, yada yada. Well, it's like, I've thought this for a long time now, and it's like, and I know I was watching every week, LSU gang, like I've known Malik Neighbors is really him. How about list of SEC receivers with 1,000 plus yards in their sophomore junior year? Did you know it was only Malik Neighbors? like this dude is going to come out and instantly produce. I have zero doubts about it. The only question about him again is just been the size, but he's one of these guys that I think just breaks the mold with pure athleticism. I mean, his hands, everything, and more just he's such an intelligent receiver. He knows exactly when to stop in the zone. He knows exactly when to keep going. The route running is so polished for a college receiver. I think we're saying to ourselves, we again back to the whole like the Cardinals offense has got to start flying with the rest of with the rest of the offenses in the league. And it's like we got to give Kyler his guy. Let's give him Malik Neighbors right here.
I like to pick a lot. I mean, I think you go Neighbors or Odunze here. I don't think it's really much of a question. So that leaves me in an interesting spot with the Chargers because I go back and forth on this where it's like Justin Herbert with Brock Bowers kind of sounds a little bit filthy, but also it's less flashy pairing Joe Alt with Rashawn Slater and Justin Herbert, and knowing that they have Greg Roman and it's a run heavy offense. And I know you can throw, Brock Bowers in the slot, you can, move him around. But at the end of the day, if that offense is going to be running the ball a lot, you kind of, and that's why, like, I'm not going to do it. And I don't know if this would be the right pick, but like, with the Chargers being like $45 million over the cap, like they're not in the best situation, like asset wise. Maybe trading back a few spots, considering Jaden Daniels is on the board and picking up like a Talisa Fuaga who is more dominant in the run game. I don't think that's completely out of the question. But at the end of the day, with Joe Alt sitting here at 5, I think it's more of a Greg Roman, Jim Harbaugh pick than taking a Brock Bowers, even though, Jim Harbaugh does love his tight ends and everything like that. I just think Joe Alt is the better pick here. So I'm going to go Joe Alt to the Chargers at 5.
Oh, bro, I was gonna say I love this because when you started leading with the Joe Alt and then you went away from it, I was like, no, bro, stick with it, stick with it. Like
Yeah,
I think again, the more that I've watched the Notre Dame O line, I mean, Joe Alt's one of these guys in this class, bro, where it's like you can basically be certain on it. Like this guy is going to translate from day one. He's going to come in, produce, and again, back to it's just the high floor, but he also has an incredibly high ceiling. I mean, this dude can come in and get better and better. And I mean, talk about a franchise tackle, the size, the athleticism. To me, it's kind of like a no doubter. If for me, if he was on the board right here, I'm saying, especially like to your point of Justin Herbert, it's the guy that we're paying. We have got to make it work. I mean, going Joel right here is just
have
beautiful.
to. Yeah. At number 6, we have the New York Giants. Now, this is interesting because we have a top 3 QB on the board still.
Yeah, this is interesting. This definitely is. But then it's like, am I? I guess we got to start asking the question: like, are we buying the smoke? Like they're saying that they're all in on Daniel Jones still,
I don't buy it. Remember
and
when they signed Odell Beckham and then they're like, we're not trading him. We didn't sign him to trade him. And they traded him at the same time.
it's
Like,
a great point. No, it's actually a great thing. It's a great point. You remember that, and yeah, there really is a lot of things I could do right now. There really is. I got to take a look for a second to see how I feel about the board. I really do.
yeah, I don't know. It's a really interesting spot here. It's like I guess it's like how you all feel about the Giants. It's like, do you feel like because it's like, bro, it's like they have like some talent on their team, but like it's hard to tell if they're like closer to the bottom of the league or closer to like on the up. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't tell what direction the Giants are heading in. Like that's the most frustrating thing about this point.
Bro, I'm still struggling just as much as I was, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really am.
So here's what I will say. If you're not gonna go Jaden Daniels, I don't think the idea of going like a Romo Dunze here is a bad choice because it's like they have never had that like big body outside like dominant receiver. And I would have much liked Malik Neighbors here more, but at the end of the day, regardless if it's Daniel Jones, Jaden Daniels, or whoever's going to be throwing the ball for the Giants, like bro, their wide receiver room is not sustainable. It's not.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's just so tough. And
I
you know
know.
what though? I'll say this. Like you're spot on. Like with the way the board fell right now, it's like, oh, but then,
You could go
but
Jaden
then,
Daniels too.
but then I'm back to like having that tight end is the QB's best friend, and it's
Right.
like
You have
taking.
Darren Waller. I don't know for how much longer, but
And that's the thing. I'm just gonna be honest with you, bro. And I think every Giants fan would agree. Like and even Raiders fans towards the end of the tenure, it's like you never know at this point how much he's going to
Mm-mm.
play. And I don't think it's the same Darren Waller that it was that we saw at his peak, you know?
No, no, it is not. So where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Roger Goodell's like hounding you. Like you
Yeah,
got 10
he's all
minutes to
right.
get
You
in
know
the.
what? You know what? More confident in Brock Bowers than Romo Dunze, as much
Okay,
as I
that's
love Rome
fair.
too. I love, and it's like, you know what? Like you said, the Giants, we got to hit on this one, cannot miss, especially if we're sticking with Daniel Jones. We got to go Brock Bowers right here.
I like that pick. You know what's crazy is I have never seen him mock the Giants. And I don't like, I get he's a tight end, but my thing is like, dude, like, I want to see, like, I could see him more as like, they need to have like a weapon, like, tag. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys who can play, like, other positions. Like, for example, like, I know it's very rare, but like a Cordero Patterson. Like he's like a weapon. Debo, if you were to run him out of the backfield, weapon. You know, like not he's not strictly a wide receiver.
No, exactly, and especially if you're taking him over to Brian Dable and just saying figure out ways to make him work. I mean, to me, bro, that sounds like the perfect situation for Brock Bowers. Like he's gonna eat in that offense.
Right. At number 7 to the Tennessee Titans. There's really only a couple ways I can go here. I think I don't know, man. Like you could go Olu. I think Olu would be the easiest pick here. But does a quarterback need a team? Well, do the Raiders come up? Because is Olu? Because I'm trying to think. I mean, yes, the Jets are there at 10, and they would probably take Olu if he's still there. But then you have the oh well, I guess you do have the Pats at 11, and the Broncos are taking a quarterback at 12. So I guess my thing is I don't see the Broncos moving up for Jaden Daniels. I think they're kind of more of a JJ McCarthy type guy. And
Completely agree with that.
I don't know. I feel like, let's just take Olu. Let's take the big pass protector. Let's take the easy option here. Let's not overthink it.
I love it. That's the perfect spot for Olu right here, bro. And especially like if he fell more and more, I know where he'd go next, but I think again, the Titans back to building the trenches up when you have so much to build. I mean, especially for Levis too, I think it's a perfect spot.
I agree. At number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. And so now we get to the point where, you know, I'm looking and well, but I think this is where I'm comfortable. Again, and I really just like him in this spot. I know he's like falling down the boards right now. But again, as an LSU guy, like I do love Jane Daniels, and I do think, yes, there's a lot he has to work on. Like the way he reads the field as of right now is definitely still something that needs a lot of work. And he definitely doesn't have the greatest arm in the world in certain weather conditions. Like I'm acknowledging it for what it is, but he does have a good arm. He does have very, very good athleticism. And we've seen the way the league is shifting. Again, back to just it's more about being able to move with the pocket, do things, and be an X factor. That is what Jaden Daniels is. And in that Falcons offense, however they're going to run it here, we know it's going to be with Bijan. It's like Tyler Algier. I mean, if you give them the option where it's triple threat, double threat at every snap, I mean, I think that's exactly how the Falcons are going to want to play it. I think Jaden Daniels to the Falcons is one of the best spots for him, and I love it right here. And I don't care that it's more of a reach as we are moving through the draft process. I think Jaden Daniels is still going to end up going top 10, top 15 for sure,
See,
and
I
I
don't
love him
think
right
Jaden
here.
Daniels at 8 is a reach. I think like whenever I think of like a quarterback and I think like, oh, it potentially may be a reach, you always got to remember like the quarterback tax. Like there's always a tax. Like you're always going to pay more for a quarterback, regardless if you think he's worth it at that spot.
No, absolutely, bro. You're spot on. And that's exactly why we're locking in Jaden right here. And again, back to like, I think the upside is still super, super there, especially if you get him with the right QB coach who can really help mitigate these flaws. And like, it's stuff that you can fix for sure, which is the best part. So that's why I love him right here.
At number 9 to the Chicago Bears. So I would be so ecstatic if so here's the thing with the Bears, okay? The Bears benefit a lot from quarterbacks trade or from teams trading up for quarterbacks. So like for example, I know they swapped with a team that might be expected to take a quarterback like the Patriots, but like let's say another team trades up to 7 or like 6 or whatever 5 for a quarterback. the more quarterbacks that get taken before 9 benefits the Bears more because, in my opinion, there's Marvin Harrison Jr., Brock Bowers, Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors. You want one of those guys to be there at 9. And luckily enough for us, Romo Dunze is there at 9. And I think while I would prefer a Malik Neighbors, Romo Dunze is not a consolation prize, and you're giving Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and a big body in Romo Dunze to throw to, plus whatever receiver you bring in free agency, and you have Cole Kmet, who you just extended.
Oh, I love it, bro. And yeah, I'm with you so much. The more, and it's really the more and more I watch both of them, Malik is my guy, and he has been. Maybe it's just because I'm LSU biased, but Rome, the stuff he's put on tape is like eye popping stuff. I mean, stuff where you got to watch it 3 times to be sure that you just saw what you saw correctly. I mean, his body control is out of this world. He is just electric at the catch point. I mean, it's so hard to figure out who's going to be the better one in the league because they really are just that's this receiver class is more close than anyone thinks it is. Where yes, Marv is the leader of the pack, but I mean these other two and there's other guys in this class. I mean, it's so loaded at receiver. I love Rome right here to the Bears.
Yeah, I think my thing is like I just trust Malik Neighbors' games transition to the league a little bit more than Rome. So that would be my only gripe.
No, I'm with you on that 1,000% though.
At number 10 to the New York Jets, where are you going?
All right, I'm gonna take a look at the board here and see how I feel about it, and I'll let you know. But I'm definitely thinking heavy right here.
This, well, here's the thing. I've been seeing mocks where Brock Bowers goes here, and I just hate it every single time. And he's not on the board here. And the top 2 tackles are off the board. So it is kind of a difficult decision here.
It is, but I think what I'm gonna say is like, look, like I've been saying throughout the whole process. Even this was like the first my guy I've had. This was like my guy like 3 months ago at this point. And and I still love him. And I think he's kind of one of those guys where he hasn't like really risen too much or fallen too much down the boards. He's kind of just stayed right around that like 10 to 15 slot the whole process because it's just that's just is what he is. Where the only questions you have really would just come down to right, is he a tackle? Is he a guard in the league? But right, we know the Jets need help everywhere on the line.
Yeah.
More obviously more at tackle than anything. But I think going with Talise Fuaga right here, I love because it's like we just know we need help on the line regardless. Wherever he ends up playing, he's going to end up producing for them and being a great player. And we know we're the Jets. We have no room to fuck this pickup with Aaron Rodgers. Give
Yeah.
me Talise right here in terms of we're very confident in it. I mean, we got to be confident in the line when we pick. No project. Someone who comes in and produces instantly. And I think Fuaga is that guy right here.
I agree. I think my thing too is as long as it is an O-line pick, I really even listen, I think they should take like a higher floor guy, which I think Fuaga is, especially in the run game. You cannot afford to miss on an O-line pick here because of the all the injuries and mishaps and 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Like this pick right here, you as Joe Douglas, if you screw up this pick and you basically screw up the Aaron Rodgers tenure, I think you and Robert Saleh will be looking for new jobs very shortly.
Oh, Will, it's not, we don't think that, though it's certain, bro. There's not a doubt about it at this point. Woody Johnson's got to be, what I mean, tapping his foot, waiting for the results.
After that article that came out from The Athletic talking about the dysfunction, yeah, they got to figure something out soon. So,
Oh, the only reason let's call it for what it is too. The only reason they're still there is Aaron Rodgers and the
no, that's
fact that
facts.
he's
Yeah.
it's so you know what we're gonna see how this goes. And yeah, exactly. With it, Talise's got to come save him.
At number 11, we have the New England Patriots. They traded back with the Minnesota Vikings. Honestly, I think about that trade. I think that was actually pretty fair value. The more I think about it, I think that added fourth really solidified it because you got to think like other teams are going to be like trying to outbid them. So they basically got 2 1s, a second, and a fourth to
No,
move back.
it was great for
Yeah,
both
8 spots.
teams.
All right, so number 11, we have the New England Patriots, and it's like I don't really know where we go here, honestly, Dobbs, because it's like the top quarterbacks are off the board, right? I don't think it's the right time to throw a quarterback in that offense. And, the tackles are off the board. So, I may have uh, accidentally screwed this team. So I don't really know where we want to go. We can go edge, but I don't know if like an edge is the right spot. You could go like JC Latham. I just think that's a little rich for him at this point, no?
See, I'm gonna tell you this, and it's ridiculous, but it's not because this is where I know exactly where I'd go here. but it's not, hear me out. It's not really a positional need. It's more like we're certain this guy is going to be a really good pro and I'm going to be the team to take him.
Okay. Okay. Fuck, man, this is a hard pick. I really put them in a bad spot. Like
And I'll
this,
tell you,
the
I'll
hands
tell you what
up.
I was thinking if you don't take him, but
Okay, hands up. This is like the most like I will say different mock draft. We haven't really made a lot of trades in the last ones. Hands up. I screwed up the Patriots. I'll
no,
claim it.
I'm telling you, if you go with, I'm telling you, if you go with my vision right here, I don't think you really did because it's a little bit unorthodox, but I still think you could build a team the right way. Like,
I think the most logical pick here, if we're gonna go positional value and they're not gonna trade back again, is probably edge. It's probably edge because it's like I know you really need offense though because that offense is bad. I think I'm gonna go Jared Verse. I'm going Jared Verse to the Patriots.
okay, I love that pick a lot.
I think he fits the Patriots a little bit more than what like a Dallas Turner would.
No, I would agree with that. Side note, really quick. They're doing their weekly vacuuming for my apartments in the hallway right now. Is that
I
coming
can't
through on
hear
the
a
mic?
thing. No, I can't hear a
All
thing.
right, I want to be sure. I don't want to be, you know what I mean? That's the last thing I
No,
want the
you're
audience to have
good.
to be hearing. Okay. But yeah, no. So we're going Jared Verse right here. I love that, bro. I think that's great value. I'll tell you what though, I'm gonna wait to tell you who my guy was because I'm sure he'll be getting drafted here soon. And I'll tell you when our guy gets taken off the board.
Okay, at number 12 to the Broncos.
All right. So
Is this the easiest pick in the world?
look back to look. It's just funny because it keeps falling into my lap, bro. And I don't want to have to keep making the pick, but I have to. I mean, like it's like I'm not going to change it until I think there's no reason to change it. And you know how I feel about the guy. You know how I feel about the guy. I love JJ McCarthy, and I think Sean Payton is going to be one of the guys who's going to really fall. Like you said, he's got to fall in love with his quarterback. I think he's going to see through that Michigan offense. He's going to say, "This is a guy I can." And back to look, just side note, but we know Sean has no issue taking in shorter quarterbacks, right? He's going to say to
Mm-mm.
himself, I got no problem with the fact that he's a little undersized. Bring him over. I see so much upside in him. I love JJ McCarthy, the Broncos, and I'm sorry I'm not switching it up here. But I mean, why would I if I love the pick? You know what I mean, bro?
I feel you. I mean, I think that's where he's going to end up going to, if not the Falcons. I saw a mock draft with JJ to the Falcons, and I was like, hold on, it's kind of a cook. If you think
No,
about it,
it's a major cook.
it's a cook. So at 13 to the Raiders, man. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do here is I think the easy pick. I think okay, so like I like IDL here. Okay, mind you, I have my computer in front of the other screen. I have been seeing Byron Murphy go before Jerzon Newton. And I was more on the Byron Murphy IDL 1 train as of recent. But as time has gone on, I've kind of shifted back to Jerzon Newton. And I think that's just the process whenever you're looking at these guys and it's so far out from the draft is like you teeter on like who's better, this, that, and the third. And yes, Jerzon Newton is a little bit undersized for the position. I just feel like he's more polished than Byron Murphy. And I think it just makes sense. I mean, like the Raiders, like they gotta figure out quarterback, but I don't think anybody left on the list is going to be that guy. And I know like you don't really need wide receiver right now, right? And like running back, like you don't really want to invest this early. You could go O line, but it's like where are you gonna go? You could go, another pick I don't mind here is Jackson Powers Johnson. But I think for positional value, you get better value and more of an impact player in a Jerzon Newton. So that's where I'm gonna go.
No, and back to that point. So I love what you were just saying because here's my thing. And again, I'm always very honest. I'm 3 games into the Texas D line, right? So I don't have the biggest sample size in the world from 2023, right? I don't have the biggest sample size in the world. But what I'll say that I've already noticed is yes, I love Byron Young when he's out there, but he's one of those
Byron
guys where
Murphy.
well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I said
You
Byron
said
Young.
Byron.
But I love what I'm seeing from Byron Murphy. But the thing is that I'll notice already is where he's one of those guys where he's not out there like all the time, and he's rotating in a lot. And then that literally leads me to ask myself like, why is he not out there like very consistently? And again, that's just on the 3 game sample size. Maybe I'm going to see more, and it's going to change what I'm seeing. But with Drazon Newton, it was like, yeah, this guy that consistently is out there. It's a guy who really makes an impact every snap. And again, not that Byron Murphy isn't, but I think I just personally see Drazon out there more on the tape, and I love Drazon right here.
At number 14 to the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, right.
I know where I'm going with this pick.
You know, this is what's crazy is like,
You have good options. Like if the board felt like this for the Saints, they should be very happy.
how about this? Maybe it's a little ironic, in fact, that the board fell this way because the my guy that I was telling you about for the Patriots, where it was similar, where it was like, it's not the
Oh,
biggest
okay.
positional need in the world at all. It's really like it's really not. But here's the thing about what I'm about to do is I'm going to say we're going to make this unit the best in the entire league.
Oh boy.
And not only that, this is one of those guys where I'm telling you, bro, the more I'm watching, I'm certain he's a top 10 player in the draft. And not it's like you're getting a guy that is so
Oh,
pro
I
ready,
know who you're talking about.
a guy who
You
is so
texted
pro
me about
ready.
him the other night.
I love bro, the more and more I watch the more and more I watch this team's defense and the more I watch just him specifically, it's like, no, this is a guy who is he's very pro ready. He's gonna come in, make an immediate impact. You got people projecting him at a different position he already plays. No, I think I love him where he plays. I think I do project him more to a slot type of role in the league, but that's why he fits perfectly on my Saints, because we are definitely in need of a slot corner. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm taking Cooper DeJean off the board right here and saying, give me a absolutely pro defender. Fits in this New Orleans defense perfectly. We need physical defenders. I love Cooper right here. Yes, not the biggest positional need. Yes, we still got to figure out the O-line. But you know what? Derek Carr probably isn't the guy in the future. We still probably got a lot of shit to make shake on the offense. And we're going with the guy right here that we're certain is going to be a part of the team for a long time.
So here's my thing. I don't mind the pick at all. But us taking with the Patriots trading back, Marvin Harrison Jr. going 2, and Cooper DeJean going 14 to the Saints, I think we've lost everything. We've lost everything.
No,
Bro, I already read the comments.
No, I'm
No.
telling you this. No, people just haven't watched enough Cooper DeJean. I'm telling you, watch more Cooper DeJean. You understand immediately. This is top 10 player in this draft. Top 10 player in this draft. And I love him right here. This is how the draft always goes, though, bro. In reality, it's like the ones that you question the most. Sometimes you look back on and you're like, no, I saw the vision. I'm telling you,
No.
if my Saints got Cooper DeJean, I would be geeking. Yes, it'd be one of those things where you'd be saying in the immediate future we got a lot of things to address. But back to I'm already not that confident in the offense to begin with. So you know what? I'm going with the guy I'm certain in. I don't care. I don't care.
I get it. And like people got to remember too, like this is not like, oh bro, this is definitely where they're getting drafted. Like it's all just exercises. Nobody knows. It's not even March yet. Like free agency hasn't even happened. So it's just like the combine hasn't even happened. Like this is all just like, oh well, this team could go here. So all right, and that leaves me at number 15 to the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is a pretty I'm between two people. Quinyon Mitchell or Terrion Arnold. And I think they're both really good players. And I said this in kind of my mock draft reaction. And actually, Dobbs, let me ask you how you feel about this. So typically, I was not a big proponent of this, but over the last couple of years, my opinion has changed, honestly, thanks to Tyler, is you want guys who have done it on the bigger stage, right? So like Quinyon Mitchell played in the MAC and Terrion Arnold played at Alabama in the SEC, the best probably college football school that, college football has seen in the last couple, last decade. But I feel like I'm not saying they're irrelevant, but I think conferences matter more for like a quarterback or like a wide receiver. Whereas corner, I feel like is a lot more about like technique, knowing where you need to be on the field, your athleticism, things like that. So that's why I think like when people like look at Quinyon Mitchell, he's like, oh, he played at Toledo, he played in the MAC conferences. Like, yeah, he did, but like when you're looking at a corner and scouting a corner, like is that all like it's more about being where you need to be, technique and all that stuff. Like that is way more important than like what receiver you're going up against?
No, absolutely. I
So
think I know where
it's
you're going with this too.
I it's just like I think it's just tough because it's like Tyrion Arnold is definitely could be like a really good player in the league, and he's very young. He's 20 years old. But my thing is like with the Colts and with the way that they played this year, I think you get a little bit more of like a dude. I don't know. This is really tough.
Let me
Like
ask you this though. I gotta ask too. And I'm sure because Colts fans are gonna be waiting for me to ask this. Oh, how you feeling about Nate Wiggins? You're not as high on Nate Wiggins?
Here's my thing. I think you get more. Like I think Nate Wiggins maybe has like a higher floor, but I think you get more potential with the Quinion Mitchell and with the Cherry Arnold. And I'll say this. We saw the Colts go all potential last year in the draft at the quarterback position. So, you know, Ballard isn't above taking a swing on guys. And you're sitting like in the top 15. Like these are supposed to be like cornerstone guys of your franchise. And I think I'm going to go Quinion Mitchell here. I just think it's a safer pick and he's still really good.
No, dude. And again, I haven't gotten to tons of Quinion Mitchell because it's very hard to find good Toledo film. And you're
Right.
right, there's a lot of like it's like you can only get to him so much this, especially this early in the process. With Quinion, it's much more. I gotta wait for the combine and other things. But for what I have seen right now, I'm with you, bro. Where you're getting a guy where it's like, oh man, this guy's an athlete. And when he's out of position, he just finds ways to get himself back in position. When he's completely behind the defender, he finds way to get those long arms in and just punch the ball out. Like he has definitely all the tools you want from a physical perspective. I want to get to more film, but from what I've seen so far, bro, I would love Quinion Mitchell right here to the Colts.
He's like attached to the hip at the receiver sometimes. Like if you watch that, it's like, dude, like there's no chance a ball is getting completed here.
No, he's so sticky. That's what I'm saying. Like even when he's not there, he finds a way to end up getting there. He's just ridiculously sticky.
Number 16 to the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, let's take a look and see how the board fell here, bro.
They have a
Because
lot of
there's that.
options here, honestly.
No, you definitely have a lot of options, and yeah, oh man. Because I'm going to be honest with you. For me, bro, already I can tell you it's down to two guys on positional value.
I'll say this.
I'll say three guys.
They all their needs, guard, center, edge, are all sitting here perfectly for them.
No, that's where it gets really interesting. I think though,
So
just
you
on
of course
value
they're gonna
alone
have to go Bo Nix.
for me on value alone, I'm gonna say I'm going like I'm the three guys, right? The three guys for me, it's Dallas Turner, Jackson Powers Johnson, and then Latu. Ah,
And they're all lined up right there.
yeah, they're all lined up. Man, it's tough. So yeah, on those three guys, the positional value, it's like what do I want to do, right? Like it is like I mean, this is really tough. Like because the upside with these three guys is so high. I think though, and this is the Senior Bowl influencing me, but also just the film itself. I do think of these three. I mean, like Laiatu, I am the most confident in overall, but the health does concern me, and it still will, just because that's just that. And again, back to the Seahawks, don't have room to mess this up. They really don't. Like I think Jackson Powers Johnson is the guy you're saying I'm so certain in, and regardless of it's not right, it's not Geno for the future probably, but you're shoring up that spot for the future. Like I love it right here.
And I think the other thing too with that pick is if your rookie tackles Charles Cross, not rookie, I think they're a second year, Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas end up panning out, and you have Jackson Powers Johnson, fixing the interior of the line is much easier than fixing the tackles. And if you have Jackson Powers Johnson, a guy who can play all three spots on the interior, filling that line becomes a lot more easy. And
No,
a lot easier, I should say. Yeah.
it does, and on top of that, my main point of thinking too is like you're saying, like when you have that younger guy come in, I think you'd rather be filling out the D line than already having the D line filled out and then having to fill out the O line when you know what I mean, when you're bringing in the
Yeah.
young guy. Like you'd rather already have that O line shirt out.
Number 17 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not even gonna waste any time. Give me Terrion Arnold. I mean,
All
like
right.
for him to sit here at 17, like this is what I'll say, and I don't know how you feel about the Jags, Dobbs, but my opinion on the Jags is this. There is not a single like super big glaring need for the Jags, but there's so many spots that could just be better. And if you get like an alpha cornerback one in that room, and he's your guy for the next 5 years, I think filling the rest of the positions on your team becomes a lot easier.
Oh no, absolutely. We saw. Hey, it's a completely different time frame, but Jags fans are going to be cheesing because they know how it was when they had Jalen Ramsey. Like you need that alpha corner. It's exactly what you're getting right here with Terrion Arnold. And like to that point, you made a unit that was already a good unit in the league. Now you're taking them to potentially great range.
At number 18 to the Bengals, I know the perfect player here.
All right, I'm definitely going to think about this for a second. Like, give me a second to think about this one.
I saw a mock the other day where they had the Bengals trading up to 12 with the Broncos for Bowers.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is definitely very interesting.
Know who I'd like to see them take in a later round though? Jaheim Bell from FSU.
You know, that no, that would be a great landing spot. Let me look at something real quick here, bro, before I make this decision. Because I'm telling you, I think I'm really cooking right here.
Okay, okay.
I think I'm cooking. Oh yeah, no, you know what? It's tough though, because it's like, it is. Like this is making me think because man, I can't really go against my philosophy, but I want to for this one. And you know what? No, we are, and I'm going to explain the reasoning behind it too. We're going to say, let me give a full breakdown here. It's so tough though. What would Joey be coming off injury? I'm really having to debate this one in my head right now. I really am.
But the injury was it was what was it? What was his injury this year? Why am I blanking? It was a broken finger, right?
Yeah, it was something with his arm. Like
What the why can't I remember? I'll look it up. But what are you thinking?
I'll just tell you who it's between. I mean, I'm strictly between Latu and JC Latham, but it's like with Latu, you're like, oh man, if this guy comes in and we put him outside of Trey Hendrickson,
Wrist surgery. That's what it was.
right? It's like, you know what I mean? And you put him outside of outside with Trey Hendrickson, and he ends up staying healthy. And because I'm sure you're saying to yourself, to beat the Chiefs, we need a pass rushing unit. Like we saw how it was
It's fair.
when the Bucks had that unit, and it's like, man, we know if we can get two guys that can just crush that pocket, that's what you need to beat Mahomes. That's what we're going to need in the AFC against all these elite quarterbacks. But then on the other hand, it's like JC Latham, you're getting a guy you're very confident in, going to come and just be a huge, just stonewall for Joe Burrow. And it's like you're so much higher on the upside of Latu, but Latham, the floor is so much safer. This is the toughest pick I think I've had to make in any of our mocks, bro. But you
I
know what?
I'll
I'm a
tell you.
dice roller.
Go ahead.
I'm a dice roller, bro. And you know what? We're rolling the dice on Latu and saying if this man stays healthy, he was going to be one of our X Factor players if we make a Super Bowl run.
Okay. So I would have gone Latham here, and I'll give you my reasoning why. We saw in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, right? Steve Wilkes was fired. I think it was a little bit of a scapegoat. I'm not saying he was a great coach all year. They definitely struggled and like maybe wasn't the best defense all year. But they have really good players. And they held the Chiefs to 25 in 5 quarters. That's 5 points a quarter. And the issue, my thing is, to beat the Chiefs, you got to have an offense that can put up like 30, 40 points. So to put Latham in there to protect Burrow. But I agree. I mean, I think like if you're able to like crush the pocket, like because you got to think you have like what, Donovan Smith and Jawan Taylor as your tackles. Donovan Smith is not getting any younger, and Jawan Taylor, he fixed the penalties, but at the end of the day, like if you make life hell for Mahomes, like it's gonna be a lot harder for them to even put up points.
It's crazy that we have to plan our draft strategy around a one team.
Mahomes, yeah,
Isn't it crazy how isn't that hilarious?
that is kind of crazy. At number 19, we have the Rams. So we have we have needs quarterback, O-line, D-line, linebacker, DB. So they need everything. I think honestly, give me give me Dallas Turner here. I I
Ooh.
just think for like value, it's kind of hard to pass up on him.
No, I love this spot, bro. This is like premier because I think obviously the way that the Rams D line is set up right now, he'll probably be rotating more and more his rookie year. But as the future unfolds here, and again, I think that would benefit him very well. But he will very soon be a full-time starter, and then it's like you're getting a guy with such high upside who, and like back to the whole, you want to bring pass rushers to the same D line as Aaron Donald. You just want to get him under his wing while he's still there wherever they play on the D line, anybody's gonna be able to take something away from Aaron Donald. And Dallas Turner to the Rams just sounds like an absolute dream landing spot.
At number 20 to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. Definitely got me an interesting choice here. But I think the way the board has fallen to me, bro. And I think Mike Tom would agree. I don't have to think about this one too much here. I'm saying we're going to take Nate Wiggins off the board.
Okay.
Because again, back to yeah, you're right. Higher floor and also though maybe his ceiling wasn't as high, but I think Nate Wiggins' ceiling is still incredibly high. You're getting a
Hmm.
very lengthy corner, someone incredibly athletic, and he's put it out on tape, like where he undercuts the ball. He definitely plays with instincts. I love Nate Wiggins. And I think getting him here at pick 20 is just fantastic value. And we saw what they just did with Joey Porter Jr. I mean, you would have a very young, dynamic cornerback duo, and I think that would be what the Steelers would be. I mean, Mike Tomlin would love that.
I agree. I think another pick there could have been J.C. Latham, pair him up with Broderick Jones. But
I
the
was
tackle
that was
class,
definitely next
yeah.
on the agenda though.
So at 21 with the Dolphins, I could go Graham Barton here. And I know I'm going to get shit for this. I've seen this in a mock draft, but bro, the more I think about it, it makes sense to me. And I don't know if it makes sense to you,
No, you're saying
but
Graham Barton?
no,
Oh wait, hold on.
I'm about to throw a curveball, like a
Okay,
big
see,
curveball.
you're saying this is your Marv at number two.
Michael Penix Jr. to the Dolphins. Let me give
Yo.
you the reasoning why.
Okay, I'm all ears.
We were both Tua truthers this year. We both hopped on the Tua train. But I think we saw his limitations very heavy this year. Okay.
Oh,
And
certainly.
we talked, I think arm strength is a little bit of an underrated issue with him. We're like, oh no, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's got the receivers, the set, and the third. Bro, imagine if you had a guy like Michael Penix that could just throw it downfield and the receivers didn't have to slow up. And my thing is, Tyreek is getting older, right? Jalen Waddle's going to have to be paid. Teron Armstead is getting older. Do you want to give to a 45 to 50 million dollars a year? Like realistically, do you want to give that guy? And the thing is, my thing is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, like I said, are only getting I mean, like Jalen Waddle's younger, but Tyreek Hill is getting older. Like he's the main focal point of your offense. You don't have
No,
to develop Penix.
yeah, no, you're spot on. And a point that I really want to make here, because the thing is, even if I'm correcting myself, let me be clear. And I know other people said this too. This is even myself. Because like to your point of the Tua Truther thing, early on in the year when he was at his peak and just like lights out, right? I even said, I think I said this at some point last year too, where it was like when he's at his best, right? He's playing like Drew, right? Like Drew Brees. But what I want to take away from that and what I've realized is like to your point of limitations. Here's the difference between him and someone like Drew, even at the right. The difference is like Drew had an absolute cannon when he was younger. Like he could get that thing wherever it needed to be. Like Tua, yeah, he reads the field very quick and gets the ball very quick and gets it there accurately, but he doesn't get it down the field. And he struggles getting it down the field. The underthrows happen way too consistently. And to
So
the point of
often.
if when Mike McDaniels makes it work as much as he did with Tua, I'm sure there's going to be some meeting, some discussions in the meeting like, look, man, if I get an upgrade, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Well, that's the thing is like people talk about how Penix's processing is so high. Like he is such a fast processor. It's like, well, that's kind of like Tua's thing is his fast processing. So if you can get a guy with fast processing and has a better arm, and you're not
And
gonna
he's
have to, and you don't have to hamper your team by paying them 45 million, 50
Well, I haven't
million.
even something else. There were nobody talks about this for whatever reason, but to this point of with the Dolphins, you don't even have to switch anything about the playbook around now because you already have it designed for the lefty.
Man, that was a good pick. That was a good take. I just think here's my thing. Give me I know the Dolphins need other spots here and could very well use like a Graham Barton, a JC Latham, an Amarius Mims, even a Byron Murphy, like an interior guy because they're losing Christian Wilkins. But we know it's a quarterback league. And before you write off this pick and write off like the idea of them taking Michael Penix in the first or them taking a quarterback, please really think to yourself like, okay, do you really think Tua, with everything around him already, is going to be the guy going forward if you pay him 45, $50 million a year? Like realistically, would you not want a quarterback on a rookie contract for 5 years to add more money to the players around him? Like you could build way more around a Michael Penix than you will be able to do on with Tua on a second contract.
Oh, absolutely. You could even compare it kind of to the situation of the team that's up next on the board, couldn't you?
The Philadelphia Eagles at 22.
Right, because it's like, yeah, once you pay the guy, like we said, if he's not the guy, but what I mean, I'm not gonna get on that right now because I got to figure out what I want to do with the Eagles
Eagles
pick. And I'm
fans
not gonna lie to you,
pissed.
bro. I'm struggling a little bit looking at the board. I'm gonna be completely honest. I really am.
Yeah, it's not great. Um, I think the easy pick is like corner. Kool-Aid McKinstry is like kind of the last guy here. On the board, you have an Ennis Rakestraw Jr., but it's like, do you even want to reach that far? A guy I like, not in the first, is like a TJ Tampa. He's definitely an early second round guy. But it's like, okay, like you lost Jason Kelsey, you have Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson's getting older. I don't know, man. This is a tough pick for the Eagles if you don't go corner.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing is, but it's tough. I'm gonna tell you this though. This is a guy that I'm very confident in. And I think you're bolstering the room where we saw like they're already a good unit, but they really need that third guy, right? Like if you add that third guy, then you have an elite
Oh
unit.
man.
Yeah, I think, and we've seen Jalen Hurts works very well with these big targets.
I know where
You
you're
know,
going, yeah.
someone built just like his favorite target. And I think, you give me two guys that are these big, just huge human beings, these huge 6'4" human beings on the same offense, and the run game just stays dominant as well. I think I love Brian Thomas Jr. right here to the Eagles.
I think that I was thinking that, I'm not gonna lie. Like when it right got to this pick, I was like, damn, that'd be kind of nasty with like Devonta Smith and AJ Brown.
It just and with the run game too, very underrated aspect of drafting receivers. But like, yeah, no, like you're getting a guy who's going to come in, lay the boom, huge body. Like I think he fits very well on the Eagles.
At number 23, we have the Houston Texans. I'm gonna take Byron Murphy. I just think that's like,
I
bro, like
love this.
if you don't like if he's on the board, like with the way the board has fallen right now, I don't think you can go really anywhere else.
Well, especially with like what I was saying about Byron earlier, where this would be one of the perfect situations for him where he doesn't have to come in and play every snap. You can rotate him early and you see it right, and it's like get him acclimated. But we see that yes, the upside is incredibly high though for the interior lineman. The athleticism does go. I mean, it speaks for itself on tape. He does do, and what I want to give him credit for, what I didn't say earlier, is I was waiting until we got to him. I don't want to just give the whole report early, but you can see like this is a guy who is he's acclimated to getting off double teams. He's already shown the ability, like he's strong enough to play against two defenders. Like, yeah, you're getting a guy with incredibly high floor. And I think with D'Amico Ryans as the coach coming into that system, this is the spot for Byron Murphy, where this would be where I think we'd see him flourish.
I agree. At 24 to the Dallas Cowboys.
All
I,
right.
bro,
The,
they have a good
man,
board right here.
I have an absolutely fantastic board right here because I really I could go so many different ways with this. Um, yeah, this is interesting. This is ah, I'm going to tell you this though.
I'll tell you, remember, Tyron Smith is getting older and probably going to leave in free agency. Might leave in free agency, I should say.
No, you're spot on. And you know what? This is what I was just about to say. Is we know what the Cowboys do. This is their MO, bro. I know it. This is their MO. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to make the Jerry Jones pick right here. You ready for this?
Okay.
Jerry Jones says, look, we already showed it last year. We have no issue taking the lineman in the draft that everybody says, oh, like he's got all the ceiling, but he's not ready yet. He's not, no, he's pure athleticism. He's got a lot of learning to do. Jerry says, fuck that. My line coach is going to turn that boy into a stud day one,
Oh
just
no.
like we did last year with Tyler Smith, who's already the best guard in the league right now. Crazy, right? And he's saying, I got a guy right here who's just generational potential athleticism at the position. We just want to see more of it. We haven't seen a lot of it. Our line coach is going to make him the guy for us. Give me Amarius Mims right here, bro.
As soon as I knew that's where you're going, I like that pick a lot. I was between him or JC Latham, honestly. I think going tackle here is the right move for the
I just think
Cowboys.
that would be the Cowboys' plays. They'd say like they've shown they have no fear of developing tackles or guards or centers. You're like fuck it, we're going with the guy with the highest floor right here, or I mean the highest ceiling right here. If you're going highest floor, you would have definitely gone JC Latham, but highest ceiling, that's the Cowboys pick, and I love it.
Yeah, so at 25 to the Packers, I think there's a lot of ways you can go here. I think someone left a comment a couple of videos ago, and I would have to agree. They're a Packers fan, and they're basically saying the need for tackle is a little bit overblown, and I would agree. Being a Bears fan and watching a decent amount of NFC North football, I don't really think their O line was that big of an issue last year. And I think honestly, like with the way they develop their trenches, I don't like an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman would make so much sense here as like a Packers pick, right? And you could go with the guy for like a high upside, like a JC Latham. But another thing is too is like you could go like a Troy Fontenot, who is someone who could play tackle, but he's also someone that can move inside. You have Graham Barton, who's a tackle who's projected to play inside. I kind of want to reach on a player here because they do need a safety and they do need a corner. So you could go Kool-Aid McKinstry, but a player that I really like for the Packers
I know
that
who you're
has,
going here.
bro, I really want to go Cam Kitchens.
Interesting. That's not who I thought you were going to
You were
say.
going to say Tower Newbin?
That's who I thought you were going to go with.
So, bro, here's my thing. This is why I think Cam Kitchens would actually be kind of scary for the Packers. I don't know if I'm going to go because I don't think I'm going to take him here. I think I'm going to go IOL, but let me give my pitch because I think Cam Kitchens is kind of falling down draft boards, but I think at the combine he's really going to impress people if he goes. Cam Kitchens is a true center fielder. Like that dude is a ball hawk and he is physical as hell. And if you have a scary safety on the Packers who already have a very good D line and have a or a cornerback one in Jair Alexander, bro, teams will not throw deep on you. Teams are not going to throw deep with a Cam Kitchens back there. And he's so fast. He's so quick. Tyler Nubin is more of like a rangy, like maybe range is the wrong word, like a long athletic guy, but like Cam Kitchens is just fast and he is good. He's over aggressive where he'll miss tackles, but at the same time, like, bro, you don't want him to like wind up and hit you. So like that would be my pitch for Cam Kitchens here. But I will
No,
say maybe going interior O line would be the better pick.
no, I was gonna say real quick on the Cam Kitchens thing. Like, I literally went on a whole spiel on my 3 round mock the other day because I couldn't believe he fell to me in like either the late second or like early third. But yeah, I went on my whole pitch. I'm with you completely. And with Kitchens, you're getting a guy where I think a lot of the issues is stuff that you can clean up with good coaching. It's not like oh, you can't. It's like it's stuff where you're trying to make a play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like oh, you're not trying to make a play. It's that stuff effort. It's the opposite. It's like oh, too much effort. We can tune it down a little bit.
You
Like
could also go Kool-Aid McKinstry and put him next to Jair Alexander.
no, there are a lot of things you can do. I'm interested to see what you do with this pick here, bro.
I honestly think cornerback is more of a need, so I'm gonna go Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Okay. And I like that a lot. And I think that we're getting him maybe where he fell down our board a little more today than normal, but I think this is probably around where we'll see him go.
At number 26 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right. We got so many options here, bro.
They
Just
need
so many
everything.
options. But I think, again, though, and I go positional value, I go, you have got to have this position figured out. And you know me, I'm predictable, right? But I'm saying I'm going Graham Barton. We need to shore up that
That's a good pick.
interior. And I think Graham Barton is one of these guys. Like I was going on my spiel yesterday on my 3 round. Like this is a guy I'm so confident in coming in the more I watch that Duke O line, where you're like you're getting a pro ready guy. Like you're getting a guy with a high floor and maybe not the highest ceiling in the world, but you're getting a guy that's going to come in and make an impact from day one. And if you're the Bucks, that's what you need on your O line desperately right now. So give me Graham Barton right here.
And Ryan Jensen, their center, retired. So it's like I don't know if Graham
Exactly.
Barton will play center, but it's like you have yet another position to fill on that O line. So
Well, exactly. It's like, no, that's what I'm saying. If you're the Bucks, you're probably gonna have to fill this more than once this draft. So it's like you might as well just start now.
yep. So at do what did we go for the Cardinals first? We went Malik Neighbors. So maybe not double dipping, but I'm gonna go JC Latham here. Put him on the
Love
opposite
it.
side of Harrison Johnson Jr. and Kyler Murray, and then whoever you have next year at quarterback, if you don't retain Kyler Murray, is gonna be protected for quite a long time.
I feel a little bit bad. JC fell this far down our board. Like JC, I'm sorry, bro. It's not even anything about you.
No.
This mock has just been this has been the most fun one
Interesting.
I think we've done
Yeah,
so
no, this
far.
I've been having a lot of fun with this mock. This is mock
I,
4.0, is it?
title of the video is definitely going to be like the crazy mock. Like this is definitely something else.
At number 28 to the Buffalo Bills.
I got a little bit of I feel like this is a little bit of a splash pick here. Like this
Okay.
is one that I think is going to catch a lot of people off guard. I think I'm going to catch you off guard too.
Okay.
But he's rising up my personal board more and more. And I mean, just an athletic freak. This is a guy where he's put out some reps where you're like, my goodness, I got to watch this 5 times over.
Can I guess?
Yeah, no, take a guess.
Did he play in the Big 12?
Yes, sir.
Does the team have horns?
Yeah, the team has horns.
Does his name
You know what
start
I'm
with
going with
A
right
and his
here?
last name starts with M?
Yeah, I think we're thinking the same guy. Yeah, bro. I'm saying, look, this is he's rising on my boards really more and more the process. And look enough that I'm confident enough to take him. Isn't that crazy? I like him, and this is my thing. Let me be clear about something right off the bat. I do think Troy Franklin, depending scheme dependent, I would take Troy in other. And you're saying to yourself like, well, Josh Allen has the arm. Troy Franklin's a great fit. Hear me out. I think what I'm saying is, in my reasoning with why I like Adonai Mitchell right here is because it's just a huge target for Josh Allen with the catch radius out of this world. I think from that perspective, I just think he is a better fit than Troy. So you know what I'm saying? It's tough, bro. Like this, it really is a tough pick. But I think Adonai just is a better fit for me personally on the Bills, and I think he will keep rising up these boards more and more. And yeah, a little bit more of a project at receiver, but I think the Bills is like one of the best landing spots you could ever imagine for him. So I love him right here.
I agree. I think it's not a bad pick. I need to do a little bit more like tape. Well, I still need to really go through like all my receivers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I don't think you could really go wrong. Like with I mean, at the end of the day, like the Bills need a receiver. So it's like,
So
what are you
desperately.
looking for in a receiver? I think it's going to be all what they plan to like scheme up for that type of receiver. So if they want to go big body, I think that's a good option. At number 29 to the Detroit Lions, I'm going to go Troy Fontenot. They need help on the interior, and this is a
Love
guy
it.
who, if they need help on the tackle side, like obviously not Panay Sewell, but if they need help, he can always swing out there. But at the end of the day, you are securing a guy who has great versatility and can play on the inside. So I think that just makes the most sense. And we've seen the Lions build through the trenches, and there's not like an interior defensive line guy that you're going to get. So unless you go like Darius Robinson, who, could play on the outside, could play on the inside. I just think Jared Goff, if he's going to be your quarterback, he's not like a statue, but he's not like elusive.
No, no, you're spot on. And I was gonna say, like, what I'm thinking this whole time you're giving your spiel, and I think you'd agree completely, bro. Is it's just like Troy Fontenot is literally just a Dan Campbell guy, man. Just physical, just relentless. Just he fits so well on that O line. That's like one of the dream spots for him for sure.
At number 30 to the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh, wee, bro. I got so many options right here, and I could do so many things. I really do. I really do have a lot of options right in front of me. But ah, it's just this it's tough. This really is tough.
I think I have gone some there's the thing with this pick is there's so many good like wide receivers on the board, but there's also good options at like cornerback.
But there's also something where I think, to your point of where the Ravens don't necessarily need help on this unit. They led the league in sacks last year, right? Like they have depth. But you're gonna have to start thinking about guys' ages. You're gonna have to start thinking about re-signing guys. You know what? You know what guy I think would just fit beautifully on this Ravens D line, who I think would just find a way to get rotated into perfection, or just find a role on this team where he is going to be just collapsing that pocket consistently and being a beast in the run game.
Who
Is a guy you were just talking about. Give me Darius Robinson
makes
right here,
sense?
bro.
Makes sense for them.
I love it. I think again, back to it's not the most pressing need. If you're a Ravens fan, you're saying how could we not go receiver? Hear me out. I think I'm saying with the top two guys on the board still, I do have a little bit. You have some size concern issues. You're saying to yourself, we got to be certain about the receiver we take. And I think as we fall down here with your later round picks, I think there's going to be a lot of guys that you can still take with your second, third, fourth that are going to give you great value. And I think with Darius, you're saying to yourself, we're getting a guy we're really confident in the trenches, the most important unit. That's just my line of thinking on this one.
I also think you could possibly be losing like Matabike in free agency, or if you franchise tag him, don't get a long-term extension done. Like you gotta start like rebuilding that line if you're gonna lose players like that.
Well, exactly. And just age too with certain guys. They definitely, exactly. It's like they were a very productive unit, but they got to still be thinking about the future. You always got to be prioritizing it.
So I mean, I could go Tyler Guyton here, I could go Jordan Morgan here, or I could go Ennis Rakestraw Jr. or like a Kamari Lassiter here, even like a TJ Tampa.
I know
It's
what I'm doing personally, but I can't wait to see what you're going to
it's
do here.
corn. I just think okay, I'm gonna go Tyler Guyton, and here's why.
I
He's
love
a
that's we were thinking the same.
massive tackle, massive tackle. He is kind of a project. I know McKivitz is really not the answer at right tackle, but here's my pitch. Trent Williams probably pays for 1 or 2 more years. You give a guy who's very raw and still has a lot to learn the ability to sit under one of the best left tackles to ever play football. And then when he leaves, you either play him on the left side or when he's ready to go, you just replace him with you replace McKivitz with him. I think it makes a lot of sense here for the 49ers.
No, great minds had to think alike on this one, bro, because that's literally the second they came up. It's exactly where I was going with that pick, especially the way the board fell today. I think Niners fans would be ecstatic with that pick if they get to watch some Guyton film. I mean, that's we've had a lot of like fantastic landing spots for prospects today.
At number 32 to the Chiefs, last pick of the draft.
Ooh, wee, man, I got options here.
They're sitting here with hella wide receivers.
But I think, if you're the Chiefs, you're going to say to yourself, and I think that this would be where, like, I think this would be the consensus at this point. And it's funny because I've been so high on the Lad McConkey to the Chiefs train. And don't get me wrong, I think I would be in most other scenarios at this point. What I'm going to say is this with Troy Franklin sitting here on the board, and we saw what the offense was with Tyreek Hill. I'm sure you're saying to yourself, if he's still available right here, you're going to say, man, if we can get that burner back on the team on the rookie deal, and when receiver unit is obviously struggling a lot, and we still won the Super Bowl, I mean, yeah, give me another young receiver to add on a rookie deal. Give me Troy Franklin to the Chiefs is just an absolute bomb of a landing spot to close us out here today, bro.
I like that pick too. Yeah, we had this has been an interesting mock draft.
Oh,
We
this one was
had
it, bro. This was definitely, I think, this was my
This is
favorite one
my
we've done so
favorite. We
far.
say that every time we do it, but this was definitely my favorite. So, thank you guys for so much for watching. If you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft. Leave a like for bringing you guys daily content. We appreciate you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.